There we go. I think we're live now. I hope. I think. Think. Pretty sure. Yeah. Hello everybody. I just realized that I was talking to myself for a little bit because it didn't go live properly. So here's the basic rundown of the way that this stream is gonna work, okay? This is mainly just a test run. I've always had issues with YouTube Studio and going live. I don't know why. It's just the YouTube Studio doesn't like me. I think maybe I've fixed some of those issues, and so as a result, maybe we're able to go live. We'll see. This is a test run stream. I hope things work out the way that they're supposed to. Welcome everybody to today's live stream. Um, hello all. Everybody's all saying hello, hello everybody, hello. How are we all doing today? I seriously hope that things work out fine. I hope we don't lag. I hope we don't freeze. I hope none of that stuff happens. YouTube Studio Live finds a way. I agree, Pokesaurus. I agree, dude. Good to see you, by the way. But yeah, I really hope that things work out properly. I very much would like to go live every Thursday like I used to because that was always fun. That was always fun. It seems to be working pretty good right now. It says that my stream health is excellent. I have no drop in frames or anything. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. I'm accompanying you to the grocery store. Beautiful. That's what I like to hear. I hope it lags because I never get what I want. Please let it be fixed. Yes, I agree. I agree. What are we doing today or tonight? Just usual talking dinosaurs, whatever we can possibly do. I could talk about a little bit about Muttaburrasaurus. There was just a paper that dropped like right before I went live that was using CT scanning technology to look at the original holotype of Muttaburrasaurus, as well as some additional fossils that have been uh, found in collections, I believe, and some that haven't been properly analyzed. And it looks like Muttaburrasaurus looked quite a bit different than we previously thought. Might make a video about that, but it's a very long and extensive paper, so I haven't had the chance to actually read every little bit of it yet. Are we playing Oh, is it linked in the oops. I don't have any plans to play Jurassic World Evolution 3, but we could potentially. It would certainly give me something to do. The reason why it's linked in the reason why it's linked in the description is because I like reused some of the settings from our previous stream, and I guess I didn't fix that. Might I gotta glow up? Well, it depends on who you ask. Let me pull up the let me pull up the thing that is, and by the thing, I mean the, reconstruction that they provided, and I'll let you guys decide if it's a glow up or not. It's very interesting. Again, I've read certain pieces of the paper, and the paper is certainly like it's extremely, thorough. It covers a lot of bases, about the skull anatomy, the cranial anatomy. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. So here's some key things to note. You know that bump that we know that Metabursaurus had. Previously, it was assumed that that was made completely out of the nasal bones, and so as a result, the nostril would be right here, and this is where the mouth would be. Well, the recent analysis and the inclusion of more bones up here found that the bump is actually back here, completely separate from the nasal bones, and the nasal bones are up here with the nostril right there. And it's a lot thinner than we previously thought in the muzzle as well, or in the snout rather. Yeah, so if you consider this a glow up, that's awesome. It certainly looks far stranger, which says a lot because Muttaburrasaurus was already a very strange dinosaur. So yeah, I've been reading that paper recently. It's oh, you can't see it? Gosh dang it, why didn't it work? Hold on a second. Hold on just 1 second. Uh how can I fix that? Here, let me bring that up there. Can I do this? There we go. Okay, just get my face out of the way. There we go. Yeah, here it is. Here it is. Let me just repeat everything that I just said. This is the Muttaburrasaurus right here. The possible new look for Muttabursaurus. As I said beforehand, the recent CT technology found that the this bump right here is basically set a little bit more further back than the rest of the nasal. So like instead of the nostril being right here where my mouse is, hopefully you can see my mouse. It's set a little bit more up here with the beak up here, and the muzzle, this huge bump on its nose, is set a little bit further back. So it's a strange dinosaur, which is something we already knew, but now it feels a little bit stranger, if that makes sense. So yeah, again, to repeat what I just said, if you consider that a glow up, then you know. So it looks like everybody was seeing that. It looks like a Star Wars alien. Yes, it does. It absolutely does look like a Star Wars alien. Um, I'm currently like again, I'm reading through the paper. There's a lot of things about it that are very interesting and very thorough. So it's a long paper, so it'll take me a minute. Dead Sound definitely gonna be upset. How we doing, Kanadi? And yes, because man, and it's unfortunate because Dead Sound's reconstruction of Metabursaurus was just beautiful. It was just beautiful. And it was just unfortunate timing too. Like, he released the episode literally like a week or so before this new paper dropped. Have I seen Maul's Shadow Lord? Absolutely, I have, and I am loving it so far. The first two episodes were just perfect. Loved it. Uh, can we see the Metabursaurus skull? Yeah, absolutely. Let me pull up the paper, actually. I'll just pull up the full paper, and then we'll take a look at it through there. Let me pull that over here. Get my face out of the way again. So it was published in Peer J, as you can see right here. And like I said, it is a very, very thorough paper. There's a lot of things to scroll through. Here's the original holotype skull of Metaburosaurus. Let me get my face out of the way. And again, it was assumed that this bump right here was just made out of the nasal bones. That's just how it was always perceived. That's how it was always reconstructed based off of the information that we had for decades now. So that's the original holotype. Here's the skull again, but here's like an added little piece of the snout that was also included with the skull. And again, here's that bump that we were talking about beforehand. As you can see, the snout goes out a little bit further than just right here, as it was always reconstructed. The nostrils would be up here, not back here. So it's a weird dinosaur. It's just a very weird dinosaur. And here's like the dorsal view of it where you can see it from like a bird's eye view, I suppose. You can see how much thinner that snout is than previously assumed. It's just a great example of how science is supposed to work is that new information builds a bigger picture. There was a lot of analysis done on the teeth. I haven't read that yet. There was also a lot of neurological analysis too, which is something I'm very excited to read more about because obviously that's like the brain case and all of that, and it seems like the brain case is very nicely preserved on Metaburosaurus, which is very exciting stuff because that can offer a lot of really cool insight about Metaburosaurus and possibly just other ornithischians in general. So here's the brain case. Here's like the actual 3D model of said brain case. And again, it looks like it's in good shape. The inner ear is also in good shape too. So we might learn a lot more about Metaburosaurus. And this will also help out a lot with phylogenetic analyses. And then here's the reconstruction. Such a strange dinosaur. I still think it's my favorite Australian dinosaur because I like strange dinosaurs. What clade is Metaburosaurus in? It's an ornithopod. Further studies will say that it was just a bone cancer tumor, and he did have a pretty thin snout. Imagine that. That would be so sad. I will say though, from what I've read, the it is like structured in such a way that it's on purpose, I suppose, as opposed to being something that's grown there as something that you don't want to be there. Noah Morgan, thank you so much for the donation. You finally got a Patago Titan figure. Oh, that's beautiful, dude. That's awesome. I'm jealous now. The paper is not a trick, is it? No, it's not. This is a fish. It was just published today. So it's not an April Fool's joke or anything like that. This is an actual deep dive analysis of the available Metaburosaurus skull material. Walking with Dinosaurs Meta is still cool. Oh, I love the Walking with Dinosaurs Metaburosaurus. It is such a cool reconstruction of the animal. Iconic too. Goji guy's here. Oh, hey, how's it going, Goji guy? Do I go to church? I do not, unfortunately. What are my sources for getting these papers so quick? I'm a part of a few like science communicator Discord servers, and oftentimes they post them like right away. So someone in one of my science communicator servers posted it, and I checked it out right away and read it. Sammy, how's it going? How are you liking the gnome game on your second channel? Oh, it's so much fun. It's such a fun game. We played a lot of that game. The new Metaverse actually looks like a bird now. It kind of does, doesn't it? Kind of does. Noah, thank you so much for the donation, dude. It's slightly smaller than the Holland Good Argentina source. Is it really? That's got to be huge then. It's only slightly smaller. My favorite thing about the Walking with Dinosaurs Mutta is that an Allosaur didn't want to bother with it. It's very true. That doesn't seem to happen a lot in dinosaur docs or just dinosaur media in general, where it's like the herbivorous animal is like a force to be reckoned with. That is very much true. Are you going to continue the D&D campaign? Yeah, we plan on it. I don't know if we're doing it this week or next week. I think the plan was to do it last week, but obviously Easter was last week, so we were doing things with our family. Um, we might do it this week. I'm just not too sure yet. Uh, why aren't there two species, or why aren't there two species in the genus Velociraptor, each other's closest relatives? And I don't think we've quite found another species of Velociraptor. Is it still just Mongoliensis? Pretty sure it's still. I mean, at one point, Deinonychus was considered a species by some researchers of Velociraptor, but that didn't go anywhere. Do we have multiple species of Velociraptor? All I know of is Mongoliensis. Let's see here. There's been a proposed species called Osmoske. It doesn't seem like that went anywhere. Yeah. Maybe there's an unidentified one. It's the holotype specimen MPC-D 100 out of 982. Yeah, there's currently just Mongoliensis. And if there's no species that has been applied, like no second species, that simply just means that we haven't found one. Wild World, how's it going, man? Great to see you streaming again. Hope you've got more gnome gameplay in the works. That was hilarious. Yeah, we played for like 2 hours, so I think that we have like a lot more whatchamacallit. Jeez, I can't even say. I can't even think. We have a lot more footage to release. And I missed a donation by the looks of it. Frizz, thank you so much for the donation. Do you play Path of Titans? I do indeed. I've been playing a lot less recently, but yes, I do play Path of Titans. It's a fun game. I quite like it. Why don't you make a reaction to the Prehistoric Kingdom update? Is there an update that's already out? Really? When is the like what is it? Update 17? No. I'm not too sure. Uh, are dino hybrids real? Probably. A lot of times that's how new species are made. Uh, have you heard of Titan of Venator, aka the Kenyan giant? I've heard about it. I haven't read too much about it. I'm pretty sure it's a Carcharodontosaurid though. Uh, opinion on what is that word? Hylarcotherium. I've never heard of Hylarcotherium argentinosaurus. Let me look it up real quick. Let's see if I like it. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. Oh, I know these guys. Never mind. Yeah. Well, my opinion on it is that it's awesome. Am I sure? Am I sure of what biology? Am I sure of what? What is my favorite Carcharodontosaurid? Temeriraptor, I think. It's a very cool animal. Titan of Venator is a 6'10" abelisaur. Okay. Let me just get caught up real quick. It seems like things are going pretty well though. Fingers crossed, knock on wood, but so far I don't think it's lagged. I don't think it's froze. Might be good. I might be able to go live every Thursday again. That'd be cool. I like to call a raptor Dinodactyl. Oh, that's kind of a fun name. Are you sure it's a car cart? Well, no, not anymore. Gosh, I yeah, it's an Abelisaurid. We doing good. That's good. Do you think there will be more researches on Utah Raptor, or is it studied enough? That would be awesome. Though Utah Raptor is my favorite dinosaur. Oh, probably. I think they're still trying to get through that giant block of Utah Raptors, and once they get through that, maybe there'll be more things to learn about the genus, which is always just really cool. I think there's always a lot more work that needs to be done in any aspect of paleontology, even like something like Tyrannosaurus Rex, where it's like, yeah, we know a lot about it, but I guarantee there's still a lot more to learn about it. For one thing, we don't even know the colors of T Rex, for example. That's like the most simple example, but yeah, there's a lot we could still learn about these animals. Thoughts on the new beasts of the Mesozoic wave? Oh, they're so cool. I want to buy them all, but I don't have the money to do that. So far I've just pre-ordered the Ceratosaurus, but I really want the Kalenkin and the Spicomelus. I think that those would be so cool. Can you talk about medium tyrannosaurs like I can never pronounce that name. Thanathoristes and Teratophonius. Unfortunately, I don't think I know too much about those guys. And Sammy, thank you so much for the donation. Honest opinion on the Nong Nooch Dinosaur Valley. I'm not too sure if I'm familiar with that. Let me Nong Nooch Dinosaur Valley. Let's see if I recognize it. Oh, it's it's an amusement park. In okay. It looks cool. I mean, it's not what you might say up to date. A lot of these portrayals, some of them look fine. It looks cool. I wouldn't mind going to it. I really like things like that. They're always really fun, even if they're like really bad. Uh, Mr. Wanapon, thank you so much for the donation. Would you be jealous of me? I'm going to DinoCon this year after my birthday, and I'm going to be one of the first to see the sixth Dinosauria film. I might be jealous of you. I might go to DinoCon. I'm not too sure yet. My passport just arrived, so I could technically start planning it if I want, but things are kind of pricey right now. So I might go. I might go. If I don't go, then yes, I am jealous of you. Um, so does that discovery mean that Metabosaurus is taken off the most accurate animal in Jurassic World Evolution 3 list? Yeah. Yeah. I'd probably well, yeah. Because it's like the outdated skull. What you can consider the outdated skull now. Reckon you can make an umbrella with the frill of a Dilophosaurus? Trick question. They don't have a frill. I wish I went to DinoCon before October of last year just to start fights over Nanotyrannus. That would be fun. Talking about April Fools, what's your least favorite dinosaur? I don't really dislike any dinosaur, honestly. If I were to choose one that's at the bottom of my list, it would likely be seagulls. But even at that, I don't hate seagulls. I think they're cool. But it's mainly just a joke because they chased me when I was 8 years old. It was terrifying. Crocodiles are my favorite animals. Awesome. Great choice. In your opinion, what is the coolest dinosaur name? To me, it's probably Dreadnoughtus. Oh, Dreadnoughtus is really cool. I've never really, I don't know which one I consider the coolest dinosaur name. I mean, Spicomelus is really fun. Obviously, there's like Lythronax, which is a really cool name. I don't know what I consider the coolest though. Dreadnoughtus is again a fantastic choice too. I don't know. I never really put much thought into that. I like Irritator too. Irritator is a fun one. Utah Raptor is rad. Yeah, Utah Raptor is always fun. I like how basic it is, just Utah thief. Ceratosaurus is your favorite dinosaur? Awesome. How do I think Spinosaurus hunted? Well, currently it just seems like the evidence supports it living like a heron, sticking to relatively shallow waters and then snatching fish out of the water like that. There's not really a lot of evidence to help support the semi-aquatic swimming like a crocodile hypothesis. In the factual opinion, the best dinosaur name is Gremlin. That's probably one of my favorite names. I don't know if I'd consider it the coolest. I mean, it is cool, obviously. Like, I mean, there's a ceratopsian called Gremlin, but I don't know. Where's the many interpretations of series? Did you forget about it? I definitely did not. It's just I don't know if I've had time to do it. Plus, I don't know. I've been doing it for years now, the many interpretations of series. And I really liked doing it, but it was getting difficult doing it because I was doing it like once a week for again for years. So I'm kind of just taking a little bit of a break. I hope to bring it back because that was always like my most popular series. But it's just been kind of nice doing like focusing on other things because it's a long process to make those videos. I have to search for all of the media depictions and find as many as I can. I'll always forget some, and people will always get mad at me for that. And then I'll go ahead, and then I have to actually record the video, talk about the designs, and then do all that fun stuff. I like the series again, but I just wanted a little bit of a break from it. What is my most favorite Walking with Dinosaurs design? Uh, I don't know if you're talking about the new one or the original, so I'll just talk about both of them. My favorite design from the original Walking with Dinosaurs has to be I really liked the Torosaurus. The Torosaurus is really cool because I like the way that the frill looks and I like the eyes that they gave it in the frill. I think it's a very fun design. I also really like what kind of ichthyosaurs were they? Well, the ichthyosaurs from the water episode, they were also really cool. The new one, I love Sobek's design, the Spinosaurus. It is such a cool, like such a good design. Obviously, I don't think it's perfect. It's just, it's a fantastic design. The Albertosaurus in the new Walking with Dinosaurs is also great. Most of the designs in the new Walking with Dinosaurs are top notch. Regalius, how's it going, dude? Ophthalmosaurus. That's right. That's the ichthyosaur. Okay. Thank you very much. What's my favorite T-Rex design? I really like the Prehistoric Kingdom one. It's not well, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think the Prehistoric Kingdom one is fantastic. I also really like the Prehistoric Planet one. They're not perfect per se. There are some things that you could pick apart about them, but I think that they're really good. Do you think it is worth it to proceed a paleontologist career? Not being in the USA, like I know it isn't easy, but it doesn't seem monetary worth it. Personally, like if you ask me, I'd say like definitely go for it. Go for whatever you want to do. One of the reasons why it was kind of difficult for me to get a job in this field is because I kind of like gave up on it in high school because you hear people saying that it's not worth it monetarily. Uh it's not like, like you're wasting your time doing like trying to pursue something like that. I say just go for it. If it's something that you actually want to do, then you should definitely do it. But of course, I don't know your situation. I don't know what kind of hurdles you're facing. So ultimately, a lot of it does boil down to you. Let me get caught up a little bit. For some reason, it froze towards the top here. I wasn't expecting you to be streaming again. Sorry. Hey, Dino guy, I wasn't expecting you to be screaming. Why do I keep saying screaming? Streaming again. Okay, assuming you're planning to do it more. Yeah, I plan on it. This is mostly like a test run stream, to see, if things work out properly. If they do work out properly, then yes, I plan on doing weekly streams again on Thursdays, hopefully. Favorite figure you have that is not a dinosaur? Ooh. I really like this Andrew Sarkis from Creative Beast Studios. I don't know what it is about it. Just look at it. Such a fun figure. Likely my favorite non-dinosaur figure. But I'm sure there's other ones I really like. Uh Pyro Boy, thank you so much for the donation. I'm kind of jealous America and other places had huge dinosaurs compared to the UK. Although apparently it was an archipelago at the time. Well. Yeah, environments can sometimes affect the what kind of fauna you get. And I don't know, there was pretty cool like big dinosaurs like Cetiosaurus in the UK. And of course, there's always that thing is like we have yet to find some of the largest dinosaurs in specific areas. Uh, had a paleontology experience when I've been to South Dakota, and I got some fossils, including a piece of a Triceratops rib, but I can't have fossils of rare dinosaurs, including T Rex. Yeah, I'd say that like if you find like a rare fossil, certainly donate that to your local museum. That's like the best thing to do. How feathery do I think the Tyrannosaurus was? About as feathery as a elephant is hairy. That's what I think. Sammy, thank you so much for the donation. Honest opinion on the Syrian Dorn Museum in Thailand. I don't think I've seen that one either. Let me check it out. If I could spell properly. Oh, looks cool. Looks like a cool museum. Looks like a museum that I would love to visit. I very much want to visit some paleo things outside of the States. And now that I have my passport, I can start to try to do stuff like that. Hmm. Yeah, I'll have to add that to the notes. Uh oh, Noah, did you just join the membership? Have you seen the new How Long Good Dread Notice? Yes, I have, and it's gorgeous, isn't it? Quite like it. Hello, Dino Guy. My favorite dinosaur is Torvosaurus, and my question is, what is with some designs of Irritator having too little sails and some not, and who would win, Torvosaurus or Stegosaurus? Who would win depends on the circumstance. I don't really get into those questions too much. As far as Irritator reconstructions go, we don't have a lot of postcranial material of Irritator, so the however it's depicted is completely up to the artist. Like that is artist interpretation right there. Some of them give it a sail that's a little bit more similar to the sail that we found on Ichthyovenator, which is that sort of double sail that you were just talking about. Some of them give it just like a consistent small sort of hump, kind of like Suchomimus. I have yet to see one that gave it like a huge sail like Spinosaurus, but it's just again that's completely up to the artist, and we don't know what kind of sail Irritator had, if any. It likely had tall neural spines because that's pretty common in Spinosauridae, but we just don't know what it looked like. Uh, Wild World, thank you so much, dude. I'd show up weekly for Dino Guy streams, screams. Yeah, you should, man. um, have you ever visited the Natural History Museum in Paris? I've been there last January and it was gorgeous. Body Cup and Dinosaur Dictionary that unfortunately contains mistakes and is outdated. Those are still fun books, but it would be a very cool one. It'd be a very cool one to check out. But again, I still have yet to visit any paleo themed place outside of the United States. I plan on it though. Like I mentioned prior, I did recently receive my passport, so it certainly is an option now, but things are kind of expensive, so I don't know when exactly that would happen. Uh, let's see. Should check out the Royal Tyrrell Museum in Alberta. It's really not. Yeah, I very much want to visit that one. That one is very high up on my list. What is my favorite formation? Oh, I love the Morrison formation. And I think I'm kind of biased because Colorado is like smack dab in the middle of the Morrison formation. So growing up, I always saw a lot of Stegosaurus exhibits or Camarasaurus, so all of these Morrison formation animals. So it feels a lot more personal to where I live. Have I ever watched Primeval? I've watched a bit of it. Yeah. A long time ago though. I need to rewatch it. Uh Do you think you're ever gonna do a video where you look at people's paleo art again? Yeah, I plan on it. I do plan on it. Probably sooner rather than later. So I guess keep an eye out for that if you're in the Discord. What if Oshalaya was actually a baryonychine? That would be interesting. That'd be quite a shakeup. We desperately need more Oshalaya fossil material. There's so much mystery surrounding that animal. We need answers. Is Spinosaurus aegypticus still your favorite, or did you change it to Mirabilis? I'm on the fence. I really like Mirabilis. Um, it's a really fascinating Spinosaurid overall, but I don't know if it's quite my favorite yet. Natural History Museum in London is top tier if you get to DinoCon in the UK. Yes, I really hope I can go. That'd be awesome. I got to see Primitive War last week, better than I expected. The Utah Raptor attack was pretty unsettling. Yeah, I like it. I think it's a pretty fun movie. I like it. How would you determine the color of dinosaur eyes? I just mainly look at birds and modern day reptiles. That's probably like the best way. That's really the only thing you can do. Soft tissue like that obviously does not preserve. Um, Looking at birds is like an excellent way to just get a good idea. And I think the bird eye color is like it changes a lot. Um, so that's that's something to keep in mind. Will I play Ecos Librea when they add the coyote? Ooh, I didn't know they were adding a coyote. Probably. I like Ecos Librea or Ecos Librea, however it's pronounced. Do you have a PO box and are you accepting art/fan art? I don't, but you reminded me that I wanted to set one up like months ago. So I'll probably set one up and then we can I'm dropping things and then we can start like accepting fan art and stuff like that. And holy moly. Also, thank you so much for the donation, Jelly. Thank you so much for the donation series idea discussing dinosaurs based on the countries they were discovered in. Examples being American dinosaurs, Chinese, Korean, etc. That's a fun idea. I'm going to write that one down so I don't forget it because I have a tendency to forget. Thank you so much for the donation, guys. You guys are awesome. Uh Chickadee, thank you so much for the donation. Chickadee Stevens, I believe. What is your favorite avian dinosaur? Mine is the Lemurgier. Oh, that's fantastic. I like quail. It's an interesting answer, but I really like quail. There's a lot of them around where I live, and they're really I really like watching them just run into the cacti. They're just fun animals. Or did I read that wrong? I just realized. Oh no, I read it right. Okay. Never mind. I was certain the Spinosaurus had their sails for thermoregulation, but nowadays I hear about it only being used to attract a mate. Hello from Poland. Hello, and thank you so much for the donation, Rash Rash. And I think it depends on who you ask. I think the consensus right now is that Spinosaurus's environment doesn't really reflect an animal that needs a giant structure for thermal regulation, not in the same way that it's suspected for something like Dimetrodon. So its most likely use is probably for display. A lot of people give the whole idea of display a lot of flack, but the fact of the matter is, most animals today that have outward structures use those structures for display. Like, yeah, deer antlers are used for combat between different members of the same species, but primarily they're used to attract a mate. And the same goes for a lot of other modern day animals as well. So it was likely true for animals in the past. Thank you so much, Sammy. And what is my honest opinion on Siamo tyrannus? I don't know if I even have an opinion on Siamo tyrannus. I don't think I've looked too much into it. Let me check if it's make sure I'm thinking of the right one. Yeah, that's right. It is a fragmentary dinosaur. I don't usually have much of an opinion on fragmentary dinosaurs, but it is an Asian tyrannosaur, which is always really or is it even a tyrannosaur? It might not be. Let me confirm that before I continue talking. Well, it seems like we don't know. Thought to be tyrannosauroid and even a tyrannosaurid, though due to lack of some of the primary tyrannosauroid synapomorphies that define the clade, its position there is not certain. So we don't know. Dang. Well, I hope we find more fossil material of that fella. I always love to learn new things about these creatures. Read any books as of late? So I've been reading quite a few things. I just finished up Daily Dino Guy's book. Oh no, I'm dropping things. I just finished up Daily Dino Guy's book, uh, called "Surviving Climate and Chaos." Right there. It's a great book. I recommend reading it. It really shows one of the reasons why paleontology is important, because paleontologists we get like a good understanding of like different climates and climate change in the past and how it affected local fauna. And that's something that is very much like showcased in this book. So again, it shows why it's important. Is my real name Evan? Yes, my real name is Evan. The funny thing is like this book, for example, was written by Daily Dino Guy. So I share the Dino Guy name with Daily Dino Guy, but his name is also Evan Yevon Carr. and my real name is Evan, and we're both blonde. So it's a lot of fun coincidences. Um, I love corn dogs. Do you? Corn dogs are fine. I used to like them a lot when I was younger, but I don't know, they're okay. Dino guy lore, yeah, Evan the Dino guy. Uh, Lord knows we need to learn about how to survive chaos. That we do. That we do, my friend. That we do. Sorry, I'm not just staring blankly at the screen. I'm trying to get caught up. For some reason, it freezes at weird places. Um, I should go to the Creation Museum in Kentucky. I don't know if I've ever heard of the Creation Museum in Kentucky. Let me check it out. Kentucky. Oh, looks like they have a lot of cool. Oh, is that where the Ark encounter is? That's interesting. It looks like they have a lot of dinosaur exhibits. That's for sure. It's always you never know. Let's see. Do you think that Tom Hiddleston did a bad job at narrating Prehistoric Planet? No, I think he did fine, but I don't know. I think you're oftentimes better off actually getting somebody who's an actual biologist or, who knows how to pronounce complex words and things like that. I don't know if that's the whole reason why they didn't state some of the names of the creatures that were shown because, maybe Tom Hiddleston just simply couldn't pronounce them, but I highly suspect that's the reason, So I don't know. Do you think the T-Rex is overexposed? I think that we could tone it back in media a little bit. I certainly think that. Like, I love T-Rex. It's easily one of my favorite dinosaurs, hence why I have a lot of T-Rex figures right behind me that actually I don't think you could see any of them. But I think we could, just sideline it for a little bit in some documentaries and movies and give other animals a chance to shine. Do you think that Spinosaurids had injuries like modern crocodilians, crooked jaws, missing upper slash lower mandibles, etc.? Oh yeah, probably. Yeah, I don't think that would necessarily be something that's only unique to crocodilians or crocodiliforms. I think that, other dinosaurs in general could have had something very similar. I wasn't sure if you wanted your real name out there, so I kept it to myself. Oh, I appreciate that, dude. I'm not too upset with having my first name out there, honestly. Uh, I've been doing a lot of work with other people, and I need to say my name anywho. If I were to name T-Rex, what would I name it? Oh, Tyrannosaurus is perfect in my opinion. Like, it's fantastic name. It's really catches your attention. There's a fine difference between paleontologists and archaeologists, and yet people still thought archaeologists deal with dinosaur fossils. Yeah, all the time. All the time. I went to Dinosaur Ridge with my wife like a few weeks ago, and we were like, I don't know, we were walking by some folks who were looking at some of the dinosaur footprints, and somebody was like, they were talking with each other, and one person like said something along the lines of, "Oh, it's a dinosaur crocodile," right? Because there was like some crocodilian footprints, and the person with them said, "Oh no, that's not a crocodiles, are not dinosaurs." And he said, "I don't know, I'm not an archaeologist." Yeah, it happens. There's a lot of confusion in that. I can't imagine Spinosaurs were as vulnerable to each other's jaws like crocodiles were. Crocodiles there. Why not? Spinosaurus still had to deal with like large mega animals, huge. I mean, obviously their jaws were like good at catching fish, but like let's say if Spinosaurus was in a situation where it had to confront a Temeraraptor or a Carcharodontosaurus, and something went wrong with its jaws, and of course that would deform the jaw. Plus, Spinosaurus still had to be young. Um, Formation injuries, like in their formative years, happen quite a bit too. So I certainly do think that something like that was possible for most dinosaurs. And that's not to say the Spinosaurus had weak jaws. It absolutely did not. In fact, I think there was a recent study published that showed that it did not, along with other theropods, but I still think that it's certainly possible. What do I think of my Macrothorax? Oh, I wish we had more fossils, but it's a very cool dinosaur. Megaraptors are quite creepy. They're creepy dinosaurs, hence why I think they're being used in a lot of horror media nowadays. But they're yeah. Crocodiles can twist their whole body to twist off body parts. I doubt Spinosaurus could spin. Oh, I see. Which okay. I thought you were still talking about like the like a broken jaw. I suppose Spinosaurus. No, it couldn't do the death roll type thing that crocodilians do. I see what you're talking about now. Pyro Boy, thank you so much for the donation. The best dinosaur fight is a goose trying to intimidate a swan and failing. Might have to agree on that one. I don't know. I'm not an archaeologist. Clearly not. T Rex was almost called Dinosaurus imperiosus. Yes, it was. And I don't think the world would be the same, honestly. So let me just get caught up again. On a scale of 1 to 10, rate the Ankylosaurus scene from the dinosaurs. Oh, I liked it. I liked it. I thought it was a good scene. I think I'll give it like a solid 8 or so. It's man, like I liked how the steg or the it was great to see Ankylosaurus again, first of all, and it had a fantastic design. Its movements were really good. I like how they utilized the low light conditions for the T-Rex to actually beat the Ankylosaurus. Made sense, you know. Um, yeah, I liked it. I just watched Primitive War a few days ago. Do you think the movie did a good job with the Utah Raptors? Oh yeah, yeah. I think that they did. The design wise, and a lot of times the behaviors were pretty solid. Only thing I didn't like was like the ending with all of those Utah Raptors. I think that was overdoing it a little bit. But generally speaking, I thought they did a good job. I thought they were portrayed in a pretty terrifying way that in some ways was a little bit realistic. Some ways, not all the ways. Dino Guy, what cool animals were ruling over the world before the Mesozoic, not including Dimetrodon? So, Gorgonopsians seem to be like some of the top land predators before dinosaurs evolved. Gorgonopsians include animals like Gorgonops, of course, and like Inostransavia. Inostransavia, in particular, is like the largest Gorgonopsian that we know of, and it was maybe a bit larger than a Great Dane. It was a pretty big animal. It would hunt animals like Scutosaurus, which there was large animals, large reptiles that were also filling the herbivorous niche, like Scutosaurus. So it'd be animals like that. What are your favorite pizza toppings? Italian sausage and pepperoni. Also, thank you so much for the donation. You're, don't go broke now. Thank you so much, though. Out of all the dinosaur books on your shelves, which would you recommend every dinosaur nerd should have on theirs? That's a good question. Oddly enough, I think even though some of the information is outdated, the Dinosaur Heresies is a great one to check out by Robert Backer, of course. Um, Interestingly, like a lot of the things that Robert Backer et al established about like identifying dinosaurs like decades ago still holds up today. So again, there are some things that are outdated about this book, but this just feels like a book that most people should certainly read. I like it anyway. I like it. It's a fun read. Uh the Princeton Field Guide to Dinosaurs is really cool too. I've been reading it recently. Yeah, it's pretty decent as well. Um Also, The Rise and Fall of Dinosaurs, that one gets recommended a lot, but for good reason. It covers a lot about dinosaur evolution. Uh, Remember those paleo artists that had Spinosaurus aegypticus with really tall crests? They predicted Mirabilis. They did, in a way. Yeah, Aegypticus's crest is kind of incomplete, though. So I wonder what the likelihood is that Aegypticus had a taller crest than most of us think. Noah, thank you so much for the donation, dude. Would you go fishing in the Mesozoic? Depends on where. Some places in the Mesozoic had huge fish and terrifying animals that swam the waters. Like take for example, I don't know if I'd want to go fishing in the Hell Creek formation, because I'm sure I could handle some of the fish. But we recently found out that mosasaurs would swim through the rivers, so I don't know, man. Plus, there's a bunch of like champsosaurs that were swimming the waters, the rivers. Terrifying stuff. Have I ever played Jurassic the Hunted? No, I don't think I ever played that one. I watched like Best and Slot play it back in the day though, but I never played it myself. Dinotopia is a good book to read to your daughter. Yeah, she's not quite that old yet though. I've been reading her like those books, like How Do Dinosaurs Say Goodnight and stuff like that. She likes those books. Fun yeah, I recently found this out the other day. But fun fact, there's actually a synapsid that's probably dubious known as Dinosaurus. Yeah, I found that out the other day and it was hilarious to me. It's literally just called Dinosaurus and it's not even a reptile, which is hilarious. If it's not dubious, of course, as mentioned. Please, Dino Guy, I need you to cure a zombie villager and make it so Alan came back from the dead. Well, if I cured one, there's a good chance that it wouldn't even come back as a villager paleontologist. So I don't know if that would work out. Dinosaurus Rex would be the cherry on top. What is my least favorite dinosaur? I don't have one because they're all wonderful in their own way. I agree. I don't have any dinosaurs that I dislike, but one that's probably closer to the bottom of the list is, the whatchamacallit, seagulls. Just need a big book. Also, thank you, not book, boat. Thank you so much for the donation again, Noah. And yeah, maybe I'd still be terrified though, because mosasaurs or something. What do you think about Romania's modern dinosaurs, e.g., European beater, European roller, Eurasian hoopie, and others? I loved modern day dinosaurs in general. You'll never find one that I dislike. I should play Hunter Call of the Wild. I played that a long time ago. I don't remember if I liked it or not though. I probably liked it. It was probably pretty good. Which non-bird dinosaur would you want as a pet? Psittacosaurus, but I'm sure it would bite my fingers off with that rostral, the beak. Where's the many interpretations of series? Did you forget about it? Oh no, I didn't. I think I answered that earlier, but I'm just basically taking a break from it. I've been doing it for a couple years now. Weekly uploads of the many interpretations of, and I hope to bring it back sometime because I understand that a lot of people like that series, but I got kind of burnt out with it. What's my favorite dinosaur? That would be Spinosaurus, my friend. You dislike the woodpeckers breaking up your house? That's fair. That is fair. Favorite cartoon as a kid? It depends on when I was a kid. Star Wars: The Clone Wars was always like my favorite show. I still love that show so much. But of course, I was a bit older when that show started coming out. I was 8 when it first started to release. Great show though. Uh Kieran, thank you so much for the donation. CAT Rex, you think it could mimic voices of prey? Maybe. It's difficult to say. I get that question a lot. The problem with it is that we don't have the proper evidence to support that type of complex vocalization in non-bird dinosaurs. The reason why birds are able to do things like that is because they have a special structure called a syrinx that is paired with their larynx. The syrinx is what allows birds to do all kinds of really crazy noises, including allowing some species to mimic specific sounds that they hear and mimic voices. We have yet to find a syrinx for a non-bird dinosaur. So we don't know if they were capable of doing something like that. Currently, it just seems like the syrinx might be unique to that specific branch of theropoda, that being the birds. We have found a couple larynxes of some dinosaurs, those being Pinacosaurus and Pulausaurus, and they are bird-like in their structure. But again, we still have yet to find a syrinx. So, could T-Rex mimic sounds? We don't know. It's very unknown if they were able to do something like that, but that's certainly a terrifying thought. What bird of today is the very closest to dinosaurs? All of them. Every single bird is very closely related to dinosaurs, and every single bird is simply just a dinosaur. So yeah, there's no birds that are more related to non-bird dinosaurs than any other bird. Whose skull is that behind you? I got a couple skulls. This one right here is Macrauchenia, which is a type of South American ungulate from the Pleistocene. And there's also like a connected oviraptorosaur skull up there. Uh, I got a couple. Got a couple there. There's a really cool skull that should be arriving soon. I can't wait to talk about. Uh, could T-Rex possibly ripple water in real life like it was in Jurassic Park? Every time it walked, shake the ground. I actually don't know. Like I don't know the answer to that one. Uh-oh. Something happening to the stream? Stream fixed itself? Okay. I certainly hope things are all right. Stream is fine? Okay. It looks fine on my end. I hope things are okay. I hope things are okay. I'm scared now. I'm scared. Uh, some people are saying it's fine. Some okay. I think I'm gonna assume we're okay. Macrauchenia mentioned. Heck yeah, I love Macrauchenia. You should do a video checking out prehistoric animalia. This is a Minecraft Bedrock mod. I will write that down as well. I like looking at uh mods and add-ons. Animalia. Cool. My microphone? What about my microphone? Okay, so some people says it's fine, some people don't. It says it's excellent on my side. So I hope we're okay. You don't hear me? Really? Mic check? Should be picking me up. Okay. People are saying it's fine. Okay. I'm just gonna say. What do I think about Deinonychus? That was weird. That was very strange. I think we should be fine. Some people are saying I lagged for a minute. We should probably be okay. Wild World, thank you so much for the donation, dude. To be fair, you made the many interpretations of. There are tons to go back to. I rewatched the Tyrannus one again today while having lunch. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, a lot of people like to rewatch them, and yeah, it's true. I've made quite a few of them. I got a mod list for your Minecraft series. Yes, but I always forget which ones I have on there. The main ones are just like uh, the Alex's mobs, biomes of plenty, journey map. I think that's about it. uh, what is the saddest scene in Ice Age? When Manny comes across the cave paintings of his family that were hunted by humans. I like that scene. It's a great scene. Do I like Poet Plays and Best in Slot? Absolutely, I do. I watched those guys all the time when I was younger. I don't so much now, but that's not like a dig at their quality. It's just I don't have a lot of time to watch YouTube, unfortunately. But I know that Poet doesn't upload that much anymore, which makes me kind of sad. And I've seen some Best in Slot videos recently, and they're always awesome. I love Best in Slot. He's an awesome guy. Uh, sorry, I'm trying to get caught up a little bit. I think the stream should be doing okay right now. Yes, it is a sad scene. I agree. I agree. Do you have any ideas how to prove to my friends that birds are dinosaurs? Because I've provided him so much arguments, and he still doesn't believe, and says relatives don't can't doesn't count. That's always frustrating. All you can do is just I guess do what you've been doing and say that like the new rules of like taxonomic classification are basically this: you are what you come from. You know, you are like because birds evolved within the dinosaur clade, that makes them dinosaurs. Like there's really no way to get around that. You can't evolve within the dinosaur clade and then not be considered a dinosaur. And if because yeah, relatives do absolutely count. Like I guess tell him like ask him if okay, let's say by his logic, he's not he's not his grandfather's grandson. because if relatives don't count, then yeah, basically, because the reason why birds are dinosaurs is because their ancestors are dinosaurs. I don't know. Some people are just they refuse it no matter what, even though there's like a ton of reasons why. Would T Rex consider humans a potential meal? Maybe depends on the circumstance. What are my thoughts on Dinocaris? It's awesome. It's an awesome animal. Uh, did you hear the news that insects didn't get big because of oxygen? Yes, I did read that. I read that. Um, yeah, and it also kind of like provides more evidence that dinosaurs didn't get so big because of freaking oxygen levels in the atmosphere, which is an argument I get so tired of hearing about. Uh, Kyron, thank you so much for the donation. I own a Mosa school in Room, and you play Path of Titans. That is awesome. First of all, I'm jealous, and yes, I do. I do play Path of Titans. I like it. Can humans outrun a T Rex? Yeah, if you're physically able to, then absolutely you could. If you could bring back a destroyed fossil to paleontology, what would it be? I would like to bring back the holotype of Spinosaurus aegypticus. Why? I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool. Do you think that two committed African elephants could beat a T Rex? I do. Probably, yeah. Especially two of them. Pliosaurs are slept on in media. Yeah, they kind of are. Especially nowadays, there's like more of an emphasis on mosasaurs as opposed to like pliosaurs. I'd bring back all the good stuff lost in the Brazilian museum fire. That's also a really good one. I got around to watching DBWC yet. Oh, Dinosaur Battle World. Yeah. No, I haven't, unfortunately. Is it true that Ostroraptor is a basal avian dinosaur now? Something like that, possibly. It's like at the very least, it's possibly not a dromaeosaur. Instead, it's possibly part of a new family called the Unulagids that are more closely related to birds than they are to dromaeosaurs. But I think we still need more information. Oh, and Tenmaya Sarwa, I apologize if I mispronounced that. Thank you so much for the donation. I'm going through a tough time, not best of my life, to be honest. And dinos and your content really helped me to hold on to something. Just thanks for what you do. Oh, no problem at all. I'm really glad that folks do get some enjoyment out of my videos. That really does mean a lot to hear, and I'm glad that my videos could at the very least help. Have I ever seen Wild America? Yeah, a long time ago, I believe. What do I think about the sail on Chasmosaurus? Chasmosaurus has a sail? Or does it just have tall, narrow spines? I'm not seeing a sail. I'm not too sure what you're referring to. I apologize. If birds are dinosaurs, then that would make KFC a restaurant that serves dinosaurs as food. Absolutely. The front. Can I be noticed? Yes, I notice you. What are my thoughts on the Isle? I like it. It's a good game. I just don't play it nearly as much. Uh, I really like the animations and a lot of the mechanics that it has. Did you hear about the theory that Spinosaurus is actually an avian dinosaur and it had feathers, wings, and let it glide on top of the water, similar to a peacock? Um, I've certainly not heard anything about that. What is my favorite modern dinosaur? Quail. I love quail. I like Saurophaganax because it was the state fossil of Oklahoma. Why did they try to end Saurophaganax and not give Oklahoma a new state fossil? I don't know. That's interesting. What's going on? What is happening in this stream? I am new, so I have no idea. My bad. Uh, Currently, this is like a test run stream to make sure that my streaming actually works. And basically, what we're doing is we're chatting, we're talking with each other. I sit here and I stare at a screen, and people ask me questions and stuff, and we hang out for a little bit. It's kind of a nice way for me to just hang out with the community, essentially, which is why I always really like to stream because I have an awesome community. You guys are awesome. I didn't say scream. You're right. I did good. I did good. I'm growing. I'm growing as a person. What is my favorite Megaraptorid? Oh, Australovenator. I like those guys. It's one of the more complete ones. It has, at the very least, more complete arms, which is always really cool. So yeah, I like that one. Were female theropods likely bigger than males like modern birds of prey? Possibly, but I don't know if we don't really have a lot of evidence for most like different sexes of different dinosaurs. There are some fossils that we know are female because of the presence of like medullary bone tissue, but that's few and far between. So we don't have a lot of data for which fossils represent males and which fossils represent females. So we can't accurately test that hypothesis, but I'm sure it's possible. Do you think male dinosaurs could be brightly colored like birds today? Oh, yeah, probably. I'm sure there's at least a decent portion of them that were. Did you like the Saurophaganax or do you prefer the new Allosaurus anax? I'm someone who just goes off of the recent paleontological findings, and currently it just seems like yeah, Allosaurus anax was present. I'm sure things will change in the future, but I'm fine with that. I'm fine with Allosaurus anax. Uh, Crap. Why did it stop up there? There we go. Apologies. Let me just catch up real quick. Imagine Saurophaganax is a hybrid between an Allosaur and a sauropod. That would that'd be wild. I'll say that. That would certainly be wild. Uh Let me catch up again. It keeps freezing. I apologize, everybody. Microraptor looks like a crow, but with the info of blue color on the light, like a pigeon neck color type. Yeah. Would a dinosaur World War II movie be good? I think it would something like that would probably be a lot like Primitive War, where it's kind of like it's dumb, but in a really fun way, you know? It's like one of those movies where you can just shut your brain off and just enjoy the carnage for a little bit. Okay, let me check the time to make sure that I'm not. Oh, I have gone over. Okay. Well, that was actually a pretty successful stream, I think. I was really expecting like more things to go wrong. As far as I can tell, we only had one hiccup, which is a huge improvement from previous streams. That gives me a lot of confidence. So I think that we are certainly going to try to do this weekly again. Every Thursday, we're going to try to go live. We'll probably play games. We'll probably do what I'm doing today and just talk dinosaurs, talk shop, I guess. Um, yeah. I appreciate everybody hanging out today. Noah, thank you so much for the last minute donation. My fiance and I are having a Halloween slash dinosaur wedding. That's awesome, dude. That is awesome. But yeah, thank you all so much for hanging out. I'm really glad that things worked out. I certainly did miss streaming. So I guess I will be seeing you guys next week. Just be prepared for another Thursday stream. Uh, so yeah, cool. We'll go ahead and end it here. Thank you again. Thank you everybody for hanging out. We will see you later.